Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about calling out the thing for what it really is. And my son actually helped me with this one today. I'll explain. So this morning, he got out of bed. He's 7. He got out of bed. He came into our bed. And then when it was time to get up, he didn't want to. It took some asking nicely. He, rolled from one side of the bed to the other and then kind of wormed off the bed and then flopped like a salmon all the way to the bathroom where he's meant to brush his teeth. That process took 20 minutes. And then when he finally came out, we'd check on him, we'd say, no, go brush your teeth, come on, get changed, come on, let's get moving. And it just wasn't happening. Finally came out to have his breakfast. He looked at the sandwich and went, I don't want it. Then wanted to read a book instead. He wanted to look at his toys instead. And I said, nope, come on, focus. We got to get out the door. We got to be on time. His sister, on the other hand, go brush your teeth. And then come get changed. Pick your dress. And she just goes. Once she registers the instructions, she goes. And so with those two things happening, I think it made him look quite bad. He got even more frustrated. At one point, he was stomping on the ground and stomping for attention. And then so eventually his sister got a little bit riled up. We did our best to, let him have his vent. But then he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't let up. And so I finally went up to him and I went, stomp. And he got a bit of a shake, started crying. He says, hey, why are you making me want to throw something at you? At which point I looked at him and went, good. That's how we've been feeling. But we haven't thrown anything at you from the other side of the room yet. Your sister, who's 3 years younger, very restrained to not throw anything at you. And so when we ask you to stop this behavior, when we ask you to calm down, when we ask you to just eat your breakfast, get changed, that will make the bad feeling go away. I know you don't want to be late, but right now, you doing this is not helping you feel any better. Anyways, we finally get in the car. We're already late. Normally, when we're running late, if it's something not within our control, we drop the girl off at childcare after. If we're on time or early, we'll drop the sister off at childcare first, and then usually the longer drive gives me and the boy some time to talk about stuff, and he generally likes to have the long form chat about any ideas he has in his head. Anyways, it works. This time, even though he was late, I dropped her off first. I thought he needed some time to calm down. Once she was dropped off, as we're driving from childcare to school, he started saying, I'm sorry, Daddy, please don't be mad at me, Daddy. And I said, I'm not mad at you. Do you even know what's making us kind of feel this way right now? Why are we feeling bad right now? And he goes, no. At which point I said, it's the fact that you started late. You were working from a place of loss. Now, before I continue, for those of you guys who think this is too much for a 7-year-old to understand, you'll be surprised. I said, which one's better for you? Going to school late or going to school on time? And he went, going to school on time. I said, okay. And we've done this before. We assign things points so that it makes it quite clear which is better than the other. So I said, okay, so going to school late is 1 point. And he goes, why are we giving it 1 point? So because not going to school is no points. Even if you're late to school, the fact that you do go to school, I'll give you a point. Therefore, being on time is better, 2 points. What about being early? Do you like being early, or is early and being on time much the same? He thought for a bit, and he went, I want to be early. It's okay. So early is 3 points, being on time is 2, being late is 1. When you woke up this morning, when mommy told you to wake up this morning, in your head, you knew you could earn 3 points. Something that was worth 3 points to you. And then eventually, because you flopped around in bed and you got out late, that 3 became 2 because now only 2 is possible. You can't be early anymore. You've wasted 50 minutes. Now you can only be on time if you get your shit together. But no, you flopped around some more and it became 1. because to feel better, you went and flopped around some more. You went and mucked around in the bathroom. You went and looked at some of your toys, touched the book. You stomped to try and get yourself feeling better. None of that helped, did it? He said, no. I said, okay. So that is the same way. When I work really hard and I don't make enough money some months because the business isn't doing as well as it should, it's very easy for me to go find a bunch of friends to go bowling. It's very easy for me to go grab a nice meal, to fill up my belly so I'm ready to work harder. But do those things cost money? And he said, yes. So should I be doing those things, or should I just suck it up and do the work that will lead to more money? He went, do the work? As a 7-year-old, do the work? Yes. And so I said, Noah, when you wake up in the morning, you have 60 minutes. We always give you an hour. We know you only need half of that to get ready. So if you see 60 minutes like coins and you keep spending, it gets to a point where you can't get your 3-point outcome, you can't get your 2-point outcome, and eventually you get really frustrated and you act out at us. You act out at your sister. And that's what's causing us to feel this way right now. If you recognize that you're getting frustrated because you can't get what you want, and we try and help you because we did. We said, come on, let's get changed. Come on, let me help you get your clothes. Come on, eat your breakfast. And you just didn't want to because you felt like it wasn't worth it anymore. You got frustrated, you made your sister upset because you blamed her for distracting you, you blamed me for not doing certain things, and it all kind of spiraled downhill. So, thank you for listening to this whole story, but it applies to us as resellers too. Those of you who have listened and gotten this far in the video, it applies to us. The number of times we hit a bad month, or we hit a month that isn't going the way we thought it would, and we are very quick to bail because we just want the bad feelings to go away. I'll be the first to say, I have that urge all the time. I see me on bad months in my 7-year-old. I see the 7-year-old in me. Because at the end of the day, we don't like feeling that discomfort. We don't like having to work through that discomfort. We're so used to having our desk set up the way we like it, having our technology work the way we expect it, having the temperature set just right so that we feel fresh and great to get work done. Some of us fixate over the number of hours of sleep we get. Some of us fixate over the amount of dollars we get, or we at least convince ourselves that we don't believe in the money, but if I could just have that minimum, I'd be okay. The moment you drop below that minimum, the moment the temperature cannot be controlled, the moment you can't get coffee for the day, the moment your desk is a bit messy, some of us get thrown for a loop. And we need to gather and identify what is the thing we can do to get us back on track. And that's hard. And calling it out for what it is helps. So, much like how I had that conversation with my son, I expect all of you to understand this as well. Because a 7-year-old got it this morning, in the midst of feeling all emotional and I mean, you can too. Sit down and go, out of all the possible outcomes available to me right now, which one do I give 1 point, 2 points, 3 points? If you can even achieve a little bit of something, don't give yourself no points or negative points. Just go, if I don't do anything, it is 0, and then start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like going negative because the fact is, in that moment, you've beaten yourself up enough already. You've already gotten frustrated with yourself enough already. So there's no point going, if I don't do anything, I'm still at negative. Just go, okay, I'm giving myself a fresh start. If I do nothing now, 0. If I do a little bit, 1. If I do what I expect of myself, 2. And maybe if I find something in me to go a little bit harder, 3. Simplify it, gather yourself, and start doing what needs to be done. That's it. Blaming other people doesn't help. Blaming the platform doesn't help. Blaming the economy definitely doesn't help. So Do what helps. And it takes humility to acknowledge that the thing that helps starts here. All of this. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.